Hello, you're welcome.
Yes.
Day
5, video 6.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk to the offender in quotes. The wife is wounded, the husband is the offender. Well, it takes two to tango, like we keep on saying. And really, marriage is like a mirror, the divine reflector. It shows who we really are.
I like to describe it as an x-ray.
Better
You know,
still.
The x-ray goes beyond the outward,
Yeah.
reveals what is inside. So that's what marriage does. You know, like we're saying in one of the videos, you may have a good reputation outside, but the real person who knows you is your spouse, because nothing is hidden.
No hiding place.
Yeah. So when we realize that marriage is like, using our own expression, is like an x-ray of the two of us, then we must at least be mindful of how the relationship goes. She has used the mirror as the example, but you can stand before a mirror.
Yeah, and then forget what you look like a
Yes.
couple of seconds or even minutes. And the thing is, if something goes wrong in the marriage, we need to stand before the mirror. Part of it is what we're saying, because it takes two. So we should move away from the stand of it's her or it's him. It takes two. So that's surrender to, self-awareness is a thing in marriage, honestly. Self-examination.
Yeah.
Even the word of God says we should examine ourselves. So let's not just push it on the person and say, well, she's like that. She has always been like that.
And I'll say this, it's like something I've said somewhere. I said, the offense is defined by the offended. You know, the offender may not regard it as an offense.
Right.
So the offense is defined by the person who is offended. You know, sometimes, let me use the example of men. Maybe you come home, instead of saying, hi, they are not, is food ready or not? And she's feeling bad that you didn't even say, how are you? How has
maybe
your
she's
day
had a hard
been?
day.
Yeah.
So for her at that time, there's an offense.
But when she tells you, I
What's the
felt
big deal?
offended when you came, you say, what's the big deal? The offender defines the offense. So that is really important
Is a thing. Yeah.
for us as men, so that you don't just brush
Okay. Wave off and
that she's just being childish. No. To her, at that point in time,
right.
she is offended. That's her viewpoint of what happened. Please don't brush those things aside.
So if you sense that your spouse resents you, please don't ignore. It will make things worse.
Yeah, and I think, I fell into that mistake too many times. One, as I said, you can't fathom what has caused the offense.
Yeah. So
You see that there's a cold war going on. Look, you just go to your shell, or you just ignore. She'll get over it. She'll get over it. She'll get over it. No.
she may get over it in your own reckoning, but it may still be there. So don't dismiss her feelings. Don't be like a brick wall. Be emotionally available.
Yes.
Show empathy. I mean, this world is tough enough. So if you see that your partner, maybe I should say your wife, I'm talking for the wives, is, not her usual self, just try to dig to find out what is. She may even say there's nothing wrong. But usually when a woman is not okay and she says there's nothing wrong, then there's a big something wrong.
Yes.
So just try to be compassionate. Just be patient and just be kind.
I think these are some of the things we have to learn as married men. And do I dare say that premarital counseling doesn't really prepare us for such things, where you have to be emotionally available for your wife?
Why is this so difficult for a man to be
because
emotionally available?
Many of us are raised not to be controlled by our emotions. You learn to suppress your emotions too. So when you are now in a relationship that causes you to bring up,
it's painful.
It's a bit painful.
Like
it's like
you're at the dentist. They are pulling.
It's an uncomfortable area for most men. So you just find there is a withdrawal, but let her get over it when she's okay. And many men, when they feel you've got, can we go for lunch now?
Let's change the topic. Nothing ever happened. I should say, okay, lunch.
So
and that means there's a need to see eye to eye. Try to see things from a perspective, not just from your own perspective alone. So try to find out what is wrong.
Yes.
And so that it can be sorted out. And while at that, please don't be defensive and don't be critical. When she finally says a word, that's the time to say, okay, be curious. Like, really, you felt that way when I said that. Ask for more.
I think, again, because we want to help ourselves. Many of us don't know we are being defensive when we also deflect the topic. She's saying that the day, I'm just giving an example. She comes, the day you came from work, you didn't ask my own. The other day, you're not
addressing that issue.
You just deflect.
I came and I didn't say anything, and you came the other day too. You didn't say anything. So
it takes mature. You see, we both need to become mature to handle the offenses will come. Please, let's know that. But as we grow together, we must become mature enough to be able to express our hurts and have those hurts being truly looked at and addressed.
Yeah.
It's so important.
And find out what you can do to help them heal when they're able to bring out, it may just be a tiny thing. Like we keep on saying we are dealing with little foxes.
Yes.
Here. Like we said earlier on, if it comes to issue of breaking marriage covenant and all of that, that's a different ball game entirely. We're not handling it in this program. So, and if it has to do with something about you, please listen. Their opinion about you may want to be defensive, but just try to listen and be kind. We
really can't see ourselves. Sometimes we need others to point out some things about us to us. And we must be, through the help of God, magnanimous enough to accept that, this... the example that comes to my mind from the Bible is how Apostle Paul challenged Apostle Peter when he felt he was being hypocritical. That's in Galatians chapter 2. I mean, the Bible, from the record we get, Peter did not flare up. That, what do you mean? Yeah, a junior apostle. He received the rebuke because it was from a heart of love, and Paul was concerned about the Galatian Christians. So what am I trying to say from that example? Sometimes we really need others to point out to us some shortcomings we have, and to receive grace to accept.
Yeah.
So, grace to accept.
Yeah, so don't be quick to dismiss your partner's observation and opinion about you. Marriage is a mirror. So please stay with us. We're going to continue this tomorrow. and trusting that hearts will be healed and homes will be made
Amen.
whole. Thank you. Please like, share, comment. See you tomorrow then.